the weak engineering base of the economy. And Alhaji Bashir, it's for you. Without a solid technological base, the country cannot produce intermediate and capital goods, namely motors, tools, machines, and spare parts. And it will continue to depend on other countries and support factories abroad. What are you going to do about the weak technological base of this economy?
Well, you see, essentially the problem of this country is economic and lack of good planning. I wish you had allowed me, to complete my thesis about how you wanted me to put this economy right. I just started and you stopped me. However, with regards to that, I think it's an issue of education and how you structure it, and also a matter of defining your national objectives with regards to technology. When you take education itself, we have to plan education in a way that we want to develop. We have to plan education that way, otherwise we shall be planning for nothing. I believe that we have to plan education for technology, especially at this time when our country needs certainly technological takeoff. If you go back a little, I think 1980, when the Second Republic began in 1979, they created a Ministry of Science and Technology. And this was a very good idea. But unfortunately, when the military came, they scrapped it. So going back and forth, and then we had it again, and then we scrapped it. So we were not sure really what we wanted. But I think we can structure our education in such a way that we can give emphasis to technology in education, right from secondary school to technical colleges and to universities. It is necessary, in my opinion, that we specialize. We get certain universities to specialize in certain aspects of technology, in certain aspects of sciences, because that is what Nigeria needs nowadays. And we have to certainly fund education as heavily as we can. Right now, it is deplorable, the amount of money we pump into education. Just under half of what UNESCO advised, about 5%. And UNESCO's level will be about 15%. So I think what we have to do now is to get money into education by reprioritizing our priorities, by casting them again. My government will certainly put more money into education so that we can achieve that technological takeoff that we need. We have to put our curriculum right. We have to focus our attention to education. The Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Technology must be given this rightful place so that it can work and train Nigerians for this technology.
Thanks very much. Bashir.
Well, education is a very difficult crisis in Nigeria. So much so that we simply will have to start all over again. The priority has to be accorded to education in everything that we do. Forget about technology. Education itself. I was calculating about 2 weeks ago. We are now in the month of June. At that time it was about the 22nd of May. Children in Nigeria have lost 3 months from the classroom. They don't even know what the classroom looks like anymore in areas. Teachers are on strike, they are not on strike, there's some problems here and there. And see, we must take politics out of education and education out of politics. Education is our future. If you say that you really must look at the percentages and so on before you can fund education, well, it's expensive, but how less expensive is ignorance. So there's a fundamental position there. Then you go to basic things like libraries. There are no books in any library, in primary schools, in secondary schools. There are no laboratory equipment. Boys doing their honors degree in sciences do what they call theoretical practical. Ordinary test tube, ordinary bulb for microscope and not available. No pipette, no test tubes. We have to really get certain basic things right. We are not going to be able to join the world as we know it at the end of the end of this century unless we do something extra. But we can have a shortcut. We have a lot of Nigerians, many of them, in America, in Europe, even in Russia. You see, the number 2 man in Chernobyl, that nuclear power plant that blew up, was a Nigerian. He was on vacation in the U.S. They sent a whole Illusions Institute to go and bring him back to get things done. I know the young man, only 41. So there are Nigerians in these key areas of technological advancement who we can bring back into Nigeria. And that is what I intend to do. Have a transit arrangement with them. They have to take some time off from their place of work, come and see things at home, encourage with money. We will give them houses, for 4-bedroom houses and so on. Give them cars. And make them really want to do something for them, even if they're coming for only 3 years. So we have the people, and I think these are the things we can do. Have a clarion call on them. And we have so many of them in the U.S.
I must stop you,
okay, thank you
on this point. Well, questions from the NRC side. One question.
Chief of General.
Yes.
You are an aspirant to the presidential office of Nigeria.
I'm a candidate.
A candidate, I'm sorry, a correction. You realize, of course, that to achieve technological diversification, sufficient foreign investment is necessary. And over the last 2 decades, you have presided over one of the largest international multinationals in this country, the ITT.
Yes.
How much technology has ITT transferred into Nigeria?
Thank you.
How much of your own enormous and personal wealth is invested in Nigeria? And if most of your wealth is invested abroad, how do you expect to attract foreign investment into this country? Thank you, sir.
Well, simple. ITT made the proposal in 1975 to build a telephone exchange factory here. We went ahead, we even acquired land in Abeokuta. All we want is a definition of what type of various equipment should be manufactured. Is it cross-bar? Is it digital? Is it electronic? Meetings were held, people came from America, came from Europe. At the time I went out of the country myself, I would come back again to attend these meetings. Nothing came out of it. Not a single frame of telecommunication is manufactured in Nigeria today, because it pays of officials to be importing these things from abroad. In fact, because I kept pressing to have the thing manufactured in Nigeria, we got blacklisted. ITT was just being able to have a digital exchange contract only 3 months ago.